Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Expert to Authority show. My name is Simone Vincenzi. I'm your host, and this is the show for coaches, speakers, and trainers who want to grow their businesses while making an impact in the world. And today we have an incredible guest because we're going to talk about how do we stand out with online presentations. Now, online presentations, they can become boring and samey very quickly. I run an average of about 100 to 150 online presentation every year. We work with hundreds of clients, and I can see after a while there is very difficult to stand out. And of course, the more money you want to make, the more you stand out, the more clients you're gonna get, the more money you're going to make. And so when I had a conversation with our guest today, I was blown away about how he's able to take a simple presentation to an all new level. And this is what we are going to show you today. So if you're listening to the show, make sure you go on YouTube and actually you gotta watch it because this is very visual, right? So if you're listening, make sure you go to YouTube and watch it. Now, our guest today works with the course creators and subject matter specialists who rely on webinars mainly to make money and is known for adding very clever and creative wizardry to webinars for a more memorable message. He also helps clients with quiz funnel marketing and generate better quality and more qualified leads. So welcome, Johnny Beirne. Good to see you.
Thank you very much, Simone. Thank you very much. Great to be here.
All right, man. So first of all, why do you do what you do? Let's start from there.
Yeah, sure. Because a lot of people asked for it, really, and I was doing it for my own presentations. Because, as you rightly said, people had Zoom fatigue and webinar fatigue and screen fatigue and death by PowerPoint and all those things. So I started to, because I'm based in Ireland, growing an international business, I was looking at, and still always are looking for ways to stand out. And I'm a bit of a nerd as well. So I like to play with equipment and software and stuff like that. So I started to use it for myself, and then more and more people, particularly during COVID, asked me to show them how to do what I do. And ultimately, presentation transformation was born.
And there we are. And there we are today. So let's start really understanding like what is the difference between a normal presentation and then what you do. Because
Sure.
some
Yeah.
people might say, you know what, my presentation is fine as it is. I'm switching PowerPoint slides. I'm good. Why do I need
Yes.
why
Yeah.
do I need to make it different wizardry, all this stuff? Like, what's the main difference then?
Yeah. The main difference really is people having to say, hold on till I share my screen and can you see my slides? So what I allow them to do with free software and a simple switch, or indeed a foot pedal if you want to go hands free, is to bring in the slides without even using your hands, okay? Or you can use a simple switch and you can say, welcome to the presentation, and you start to go into the slides. So this is a slide here on lead magnets, for example, and then if you press another button, you can go to slides only. So you can engage really, really well with your audience and not fumble around with the mouse or anything like that, and not disappear, particularly with the likes of Zoom. For example, a lot of people go, they look like a guest at their own event. They're up in the corner, they're on their side, they're waiting for the slides to load, then can you see my slides? They're a bit nervous and anxious. It gets rid of all of that. You just simply press a button without even breaking eye contact, and you're there with a nice, big, strong, professional presence beside your slides. Again, slides only, and back to full camera. And for a lot of people, all my clients and students, being able to do that alone has transformed how much they enjoy presenting, but more importantly, how much their audience enjoy it and how engaged they become and how professional it all looks.
Yeah, I remember you showed me when we had our initial call, and I could immediately see the difference. Because as you said, when you're sharing the screen on the majority of every webinar platform or Zoom, then you're literally like a small part in the corner.
Yeah.
But the slides is let's say 40%, 50% of the presentation. The other 50 is you as a presenter.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
what makes sales is not a great slide deck, is the connection that you are bringing to the audience, is the connection that you are having with people. And that was always one of my biggest problems as well, is like, how can I make sure that people can see me, not just this full slide deck, and bring that presentation to life. Now, I would love to explore later some of the examples that you have, some of the case studies, some of the examples that people could use it with. But I want to start addressing probably the elephant in the room, which is it difficult? Because a lot
Yeah.
of people they see or they might see this and they think and it's like, oh my God, like PowerPoint is enough for me. Like, how difficult is this?
Yeah, yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned the elephant in the room, because you can actually address the elephant in the room, right? So, and you'd be surprised how many people buy my course just to be able to do that, and you can do it with or without a green screen. So, in terms of how technical is it? I mean, I'm basically using free software called OBS and a little Stream Deck switch. And then you basically connect your camera and your microphone. Well, you keep using your microphone as is, if you wish, which is easier. And you just connect your camera and ideally a second screen to OBS. So OBS is the free software. And then you have a simple switch called a Stream Deck, or as I like to do with my Stream Deck, is I press a button and it just magically falls out of the sky. You can go now, Stream Deck. Thank you. Thank you. So if we look at the overhead camera, which we can talk about later, and we can zoom in. So this is the Stream Deck here live. Okay, about $150. And you have different scenes, as they're called, okay? So this one is called Old Zoom, where I did an example of Old Zoom. But this is me in the slides. So if I press me, it goes to me. If I press the one below, it's me in the slides. And if I press the one below that, it's slides only. So if we go back to overhead camera, we can zoom in on the overhead camera by pressing a button. And there are 3 simple scenes. And when you get comfortable with that, you can record. If you're using Zoom, you can mute, unmute, ask everybody to unmute, all that kind of good stuff. So with the Stream Deck, you never run out of buttons, because you can create a button that creates a whole new set of buttons. So, or a folder called Zoom. But from a technical perspective, if you ignore all the buttons and you just had these 3 scenes, that's it. And OBS, okay? And then it works with Windows and Mac. And then you can come on, as I say, full screen. Say, welcome everybody to the webinar. Today we're going to talk about lead magnets. A lead magnet is this, that, and the other. You can make yourself a bit smaller if you had the space. So it looks like you have a big screen behind you on a training, but you don't need to use a green screen, and you can start to work through your slides and so on. And then if you want to go to slides only. So it's essentially setting up what is known as scenes in OBS, and then telling the Stream Deck, or indeed the foot pedal, that when I press this, I want this scene to appear. It's one camera, so if you see me down in the corner here, it's the same camera. So you can use your existing equipment, you can use your keyboard if you want instead of a Stream Deck, but I highly recommend that you get a Stream Deck, and the software is free for life, OBS, on Windows and Mac.
So basically, like, worst case scenario is about $150. That's what you're saying.
For the Stream Deck, yeah, and use the gear you have already. And then, for example, as you get more comfortable, you can say, hey, I'd like the one where I'm in a circle in the slide, okay? So that's another button. So I know the one to the left and above is back to slides. I know the one above that is me in the slides from a little bit of practice. And I know the one above that is me only. So with a little bit of practice, you never break eye contact. It looks like you have somebody managing the production while you're doing the presenting without the need for that. And then people say, well, what about these overlays that you have? Let's say, I might say to my audience, are you fed up going around in circles, okay? Or are you tired chasing clients down rabbit holes? Okay, so after a while, when you get comfortable, you can bring in these overlays like the elephant in the room. And if you haven't got a green screen, which people ask all the time, I'll just pull back the green screen here, which is a $30 fabric. You can still do the elephant in the room without a green screen. Okay. So after you get comfortable, you can start to add additional overlays and scenes. So that's it.
What I love about this is that when on one side it has layers, so it can become quite easy to set up as well. And on the other side, it really makes you memorable. Like if I think about what this does, everyone runs PowerPoint presentations, which means you want to stand out, you got to do something different. And we
Yeah.
are all in the business of attention, right? This is the business that we are in as speakers, as presenters, and running webinar. How can we keep the attention of our people? And the better experience we give them, the more likely they are to buy. And if you're thinking about the art of a presentation, the art of a presenter as well, is to captivate the audience. The more the audience is captivated, then the more they will listen. The more they will listen, the more they will buy. And in particular online, now this gives you the opportunity and gives me the opportunity. I'm looking forward to start learning this. It gives me the opportunity to do something that people say, oh, I really love that presentation. It was so different. It was so unique. And that's I think the real benefit of this. So can you give some examples or even other stories of some of how some of your clients use it and in what industry and for what cases? Because I know you work with a lot of people taking their
Yeah.
presentation to the next level.
Yeah. So what you're mentioning there is really important from the presentation point of view. It's the technique we call pattern interrupt. Okay, so maybe as a child you fell off your bicycle or the swing and you cut your knee, and your caregiver might say, hey, have a lollipop, or look at the cute doggy, trying to interrupt the pattern. So just on that, in case we forget, the most popular way to do that as well now is bring in your iPad, okay, and to draw people in. Let's say you're talking about a framework or you're talking about eye contact and where the camera might be. In terms of people that use it, for example, Paul O'Mahony here in Ireland.
My name is Paul O'Mahony. I am the founder of the Rethink Academy. And I have to say, I wanted to make a video to say a huge thank you to Johnny Beirne, because he is my go-to guy globally when it comes to anything related to making me and my company look more professional online, whether it's through Zoom, whether it's through webinars, or whether it's through workshops. We have literally generated tens of millions of revenue since COVID, when everything moved online. Now, what's the big thing? What's the big secret? Well, right from the get-go, it's so much easier to grab people's attention when you do things that they're not expecting, when you can literally transform their experience so they know this is not like any other webinar. Because it's, quite frankly, so important to keep that eye contact as you move through the slideshow and move around from left to right, allowing people to keep engaged, but also at the same time to feel like I must keep looking here because nobody really knows what's about to come next. So I would have to say to you, if you get the opportunity to work with Johnny at any point in time, grab it with both hands, because it's absolutely amazing. And if not, you are literally just leaving money on the table, which I don't think anyone should be doing. So
I love it.
take the opportunity, and if you need to check in with me or check anything with me, please reach out.
Yeah, so that's just an example, and two things going on there. One, thanks Paul again for the great testimonial, but it's preloaded into OBS. You don't have to have a video in a slide and click on it to play, and it never really looks good. You don't have to bring in a YouTube URL or anything like that. I just literally press a button here called testimonials, and then, for example, I could play Rory's testimonial. I could play, let's say, Greg's testimonial.
Greg, I just wanted to thank you so much for your course.
Yeah.
So it's all preloaded, you know. It works really, really seamlessly. And you know, people say, "Oh, that's a lot of buttons." Well, what you would do is you just, you know, if you glance down, they know you're using something, so it's fine. But your go-to switch is go to slides, and then glance down when you know what you want to bring in next. Let's say testimonials. So you press it, and then you're ready, and then you can come back. So yeah, but people are using it for all sorts, and the overhead camera is the most popular thing right now. To your point, get away from, not totally away from PowerPoint, but literally draw people in by drawing, you know, whether it's a marker and a sheet of paper or your iPad, which is even better because you can, of course, scroll through things that you can't do on paper. So again, you can just move this guy away, you know, write your name, come back to something you were talking about, pinch and zoom, all of that. And with a quick press of a button, you can go, is this making sense? And then go back to it. And you press another one, zoom in even further. Okay? So, and you can, you know, be in a circle beside the iPad as well. This is all live. Okay, we have not orchestrated anything here in the recording for anybody that's watching this afterwards, right? This is all done live. And what's beautiful about OBS is you can record as well. So everything you see me doing can be recorded for promoting your webinar. So your videos on LinkedIn and on other social, you can use to record and say, hey guys, next week I'm going to be talking about why lead magnets are dead and they're one size fits all and so on and so forth. See you on the webinar. So very quickly you can create nice little nuggets for your social.
Can also be used for YouTube videos as well, like if you use
YouTube, anything, yeah.
And you don't want to have like an editor on the back end to add a lot of animation, jump cuts, and so on. That makes already the video entertaining and interesting to watch and different from what you see anywhere else as well.
Yeah, and if you are making videos for online courses as well, or putting videos into your online AI platform as a coach, if you have one of those, you can very quickly make very professional course videos as well. Because you can have a button on your Stream Deck that's record, okay? So if I reach down and press it, and I have my finger on it now, so I'm just ready to go, and then I just have it pressed, so now I know it's recording. So when I reach down again to press that same button, it stops recording. It doesn't say, are you sure, do you want to stop? It just stops, which means that there's no reaching for a phone or any topping and tailing. You can be very efficient with making videos with this setup, in addition to presenting live. So the whole system works for live and recorded.
I love it. So let's talk. Let's go back to the gear, because I know this is a question that people will say. Okay, like if I want to use this, what is the gear that we need to have? So you already mentioned a Stream Deck.
Yeah.
You already mentioned OBS. Okay, so
Yeah.
software is OBS,
Yeah.
Stream Deck. Then what else to make this magic happen?
Yeah, so it really depends on what you have already. If you currently look and sound good, the Stream Deck is all you need, and OBS, which is free. That's it. Okay? If you believe that you still need to sound better, then you may need to upgrade your microphone. If you're looking down into a laptop, you definitely need to get an external camera and to make that ever important eye contact. You may consider over time getting a teleprompter where you can see yourself, so that gives you confidence that you know what's on the screen at any time. Also very useful for making promo videos if you want to read from a script. Just don't sound scripted. So when I bring on the slides here, I know they're on there because I can see them in my teleprompter. But that would be something over time. To do what I'm doing right now, ideally you just get a Stream Deck, which is the hardware, $150, or one with 8 buttons for $100, and the software OBS. And then after a while, as I say, you might, for example, like the hands-free. A lot of people like the hands-free. They can be quite animated and expressive, and it looks really professional when the slides come in and out and you're not even pressing buttons. So if I bring in the slides and I stand on the other one, it's going to go on to the next slide. Okay, so it's really, really good from a hands-free perspective that it's moving through the slides as I stand on the button. You can see the little boxes are beginning to appear there as I stand on the pedal, and then you can go back. So the pedal's about $80. Okay,
And
takes
what
a
would be the
little bit
name
of
of the pedal?
practice.
Like if someone is looking for that pedal, what would they search for? Because I never heard about this, by the way. Like
Yeah,
it's the
it's
first time
all
I see something like this.
yeah, it's all Elgato equipment. So Elgato make lights, Stream Deck, microphones, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, when I press this pedal, and then when I press the middle one, you can see it'll go through the slides, and then you come back here to this one. So you're good to go. The other one then could be for record, whatever you want really, and that's the foot pedal. So it's Elgato that make the Stream Deck. So for example, you can get one with 32 buttons, which is, you know, probably overkill unless you're a nerd like me, but 15 is quite good, or even the one with 8, actually 10. It's got 8 of these type of buttons and then 2 small ones, so 10 in total. So yeah, that's the Stream Deck and OBS.
All right, so beginner friendly, green screen, Stream Deck, OBS.
Yeah,
Three
green
pieces of
screen is
equipment.
optional.
That's
Yeah,
it. Green screen optional, but if you want to have the transition on the slides, like the slide, you will need the green screen, correct?
Yeah, so it's a great question. So if you want to look like you're on front of the slides, almost
Correct.
like a big screen, then the green screen. If I was to pull it back here, so here's what happens. So what you would do in that case is with the camera, you would make yourself a bit smaller and just turn off the chroma key. So if I go to camera here, and I turn off the chroma key to get rid of the fuzzy. Okay, so there's my room. I have a window, so I need to use a green screen, but I like to use it. So if I go back to me, and I go back to slides, so what I would do then is I would crop.
Right.
Okay, so people will see your room, see your logo. I would probably then turn off the office background. And then, you know, the other one, they would see my native background. So you don't need a green screen for it to work, but it does make it look better.
It does. But
Yeah.
also you don't even need it. Like that's the thing. Like I
You can
assume
have a
I
pull down
assume-
one as well.
I assume that you needed to have it. What I love about you and what you have created is that it is like if someone is passionate about geeking out on video equipment, on because I know I got a lot of friends that are professional speakers and they build incredible studios in their houses or in their office, and they've got the teleprompter, the equipment, but still they will not do what you do. So they will have all the gear, but still they will not have this animation, this interaction. And I know for sure they will be. I'm going to send this interview actually to them because I already have at least 12 people in mind that I know for sure they love their tech gear. And so then it was like, okay, are you someone that loves your tech gear? Knock yourself out. There is something for you. Are you someone that you want to keep things simple, not even having a green screen? You can have a setup that still allows you to stand out, that still allows you to be different without losing your mind in learning a lot of tech that
Yeah.
your thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if we look at Greg sitting in his office and there's no green screen here.
Hello, Johnny. This is Greg. I just wanted to thank you so much for your course. When I took the course, I was really looking to improve my presentation skills and engagement. And I never had heard of on Stream Deck or OBS or VMAX. And attending your course really gave me the skills I needed to do that. And I love how everything is a touch key, so I can actually seamlessly go into my course, presenting it. I can actually go to different scenes that talk to them. And I probably have to say my favorite part of this engagement is that you showed me how to bring Nellie, our elephant in the room, into the course. It's been great. It's a great experience. I learned a lot on engagement, on improving my Zoom meetings. I love that I can use this in WebEx, Zoom, Google Meet, Microsoft Teams. It's awesome.
There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, so he's just sitting in his room. That is his real room, no green screen. And you see how Nelly came in and he loves it. And he's effortlessly transitioning into slide. He's down in the corner for some of them. He gives a lot of online courses and training. And as he said, it works with, if people are wondering, it works with Zoom. It works anywhere you turn on your camera. OBS becomes your camera, essentially a virtual camera. So it works with StreamYard, Riverside, Zoom, Google Meet, anywhere you turn on your camera, it works.
Okay. Anything that we should have talked about or we should have mentioned that we have not mentioned yet?
Not that I can think of. It's a lot easier than you think. I mean, I'm happy to give people guidance, of course. You don't need any additional equipment. Ideally, you would probably get the Stream Deck. You don't need a lot of space. Like I'm in about 9 foot square here. I can reach back and touch the green screen. My camera's not that far away. So you definitely, like you and I suppose what we didn't mention is standing, if standing is an option. You know, you get a lot of certainty when you stand. It extends the diaphragm so you can sound that little bit clearer. You look more like a presenter when you stand, because from TED Talks to training rooms, we tend to stand and everybody else sits down. I have a sit-stand desk, so if I press number 1, everything goes back down to seating level. And I press number 2. So that may be in time something to get, but standing's pretty good. But you really can get started and do really amazing, engaging presentations with some free software and a simple switch.
Oh, I love it. So for people that want to learn about this, how they can get in touch with you, what do you have for them? Because I'm sure that now there are people that say, okay, I'm in. I want to learn. How do I do this?
Yeah, if you pop on to johnnybeirne.com, perhaps it'll be in the show notes. And if you want to reach out from there, I do have an equipment list I can share with people for free, where they can look at various options. All equipment that I've tried or seen recommended. But there's 3 cameras, 3 microphones, 3 of everything. So based on your budgets and your needs, you can choose from that. So that short circuits a lot of investigation and browsing through Amazon or wherever about the gear. I have a free guide about OBS. I have the presentation transformation playbook that shows people how to get started and how to use pattern interrupt. So various resources if people want to check them out.
All right, so it's johnnybeirne.com. So johnnybeirne.com. You'll see the link in the show notes. I'll put the link in particular also of it's a free interactive guide called Presentation Transformation. So you can see that, and then you can also have the link to the full website where you can get in touch with Johnny and learn and take your presentation to the next level. And this is something that I encourage you to do. Because in particular, if you take your work as a presenter seriously, or you make your living from presentations, this is now not, this is the way I see it, is not a nice to have. It becomes a must have with your progression as a speaker. We all start in a simple way. We all start with a PowerPoint slide. And then we improve our speaking skill, we improve our communication skills, and then we arrive to a point that we want to be the best that we can be, that we want to be the best speaker, we want to be the speaker that stands out. In particular, if I think about a lot of like online summits or multi-speaker events, they will remember you. They will remember you, right? So make sure you get in touch with Johnny, go on the website, see how you can make it work, because this can really take your presentation to the next level. Johnny, thank you again. It's been fantastic.
My pleasure. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, everyone. Thanks all for watching. If you have been listening, maybe because you were driving or doing other stuff, make sure you jump on the YouTube link, on the YouTube video, because then you can actually see what we've been talking about. You can see all the animation, the transitions, because you need to see to believe, right? So go and see it. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. And final thing, remember, reviews are lifeblood of every show. So give us a good 5-star review. It's good for the guest, it's good for the show, it's good for my ego, it's good for everyone. So make sure you do this. And until next time, remember that together we grow exponentially. Ciao.